Dolphin fan. Let's go! What is good, Fin Nation? What's good? It's your boy Reason, and we are back here for another one. I hope all of y'all are having a fantastic start to your week. Obviously, tonight is the night where the Heat can close it out and shut it down and end it all for all of y'all. So I'm here a little bit earlier than normal. Maybe you're on your way home from work. Maybe you're already off work and you're chilling and you're cooking up your steaks and potatoes for the family. Whatever you may be doing, wherever you are, I hope you're having a blessed day. And we got a lot to talk about. Day 2 of OTAs with the reporters officially there. Awesome stuff. Remember, if the Heat sweep tonight, I will be live tomorrow on 5:30 to 6 o'clock with Daniel Oifusi. We'll be talking OTAs, Dalvin Cook, the draft class, all that kind of jazz. But if the Heat do win tonight and are playing on Thursday, then you can expect that interview to come out for you Thursday morning. So you have a ton of time to watch it before the Heat get going, and we'll just push back Phinside The NFL finish line if we're live tomorrow, and Fin Too Deep if the episode drops on Thursday, all right? So, either way, we're going to have content for you all week. You already know what time it is. And looky, you know, maybe did I put a hex on the New York Jets? You know, I'm sitting here up here yesterday ranting and raving about Aaron Rodgers, you know, and the Jets making a little highlight reel of him running in a football on 7-on-7s. And then what happens today? Early today, Rodgers comes up favoring his right leg. Originally, people thought it might have been the ankle. It seems as if he has a strained calf. So Jets fans are, you know, they're already delusional to begin with. But now reality is starting to set in that, oh my God, we got a 40-year-old quarterback that doesn't take care of his body the way Tom Brady does. Oh no, what are we going to do? So already, it's starting off beautifully for us and quite ugly for the Jets, and I'm here for it. I'm here for every single freaking minute of it. All right? So, and then a couple interesting things today. McDaniel, he had his press conference today, and he did have a few interesting things that he said that he had mentioned. Now, you know, he kind of hinted towards it, but he really wouldn't commit towards Trill Williams at safety. And also, seems Brandon Jones and Nick Needham, they're on the sidelines today. He said, you know, they're taking their time. They're not rushing them back. Isaiah Wynn. I know everyone's wondering about Isaiah Wynn. Now, with OTAs, listen, until we go out for training camp and we visually see it ourselves, they cannot tell you where people are lined up, but they'll hint at towards you. And Isaiah Wynn looks like he's getting multiple looks. That's what was said by Mike McDaniel today. So they're going to be trying out Isaiah Wynn a couple different spots on the offensive line. Sounds like he's going to get some looks at left guard. Another interesting thing too was, you know, everyone tried to mock the jiu-jitsu stuff and all that kind of jazz, but Mike McDaniel came out today and said that they're actually instituting a lot of the training techniques and a lot of stuff from the jiu-jitsu stuff that Tua learned they have basically installed it into quarterback drills, and the whole reason they have was because, hey, all quarterbacks got to learn to brace for impact. And he actually referenced Teddy Bridgewater and how Teddy Bridgewater last year talked about how, especially as a backup quarterback, you don't get a lot of snaps, but when you do get in there, you haven't been hit in months. So it's a good thing to keep your body trained. And when you can learn to absorb and distribute that kind of energy evenly, right? The energy that's coming through you that you're absorbing, right? The impact in your energy. When you can learn to absorb it and distribute it evenly throughout your body, that's how you can lessen injuries as well, right? We always talk about mechanics here on Phinside The NFL. We always talk about quarterbacks mechanics. We always talk about, since day one, I've been talking about what? The kinetic chain, right? How kinetic energy starts from all the way from the toe, all the way up through your body, through your legs, through your hips, through your upper body, all the way through your arm to your fingertips when you're throwing the football. It's that chain of kinetic energy. Me and Nick Hicks have talked about it. When Nick Hicks will be on the show in the next couple of weeks, our yearly check-in. It'll be the third time he's on the show, whatever. We started that trend as well. Nick Hicks will be on the show soon enough, and I'm sure it's something we'll be talking about because it's something they've been working on with Tua, because remember, the hip was disrupting that kinetic chain he had early on in his career, and they had to fix that, right? That was one of the things they had to fix in that offseason going into 2021. So, it's very interesting stuff came away from Mike McDaniel today. Now, obviously, he wasn't overly committing, but, he was still not telling everyone exactly the deal was, but, still being a little subtle, as subtle as he can be. Shout out to Rhino Sith, 18-month member back from Europe. Hope everyone is doing well. This man is just living the life, right? Going on cruises, going to Europe. Atta boy, Rhino, live it. I'm living vicariously through you. And in doing so, Rhino just gifted 5 Phinside The NFL memberships. Chris Gifford, No One Drummer, King Z305, Robert Thomason, and Jeffrey Ward were all just gifted memberships from Rhino, the god of the mod squad. The day one as it comes right there. The homie, one of my best friends in this community, Rhino Sith, showing some love to all of y'all. Appreciate it, Rhino, and I hope your trip was safe, fruitful, and very, very fun, my friend. I'm sure, don't worry, I'll be hitting you up, probably after the show, finding out what hostels you were staying at, brother. 235 of you already in the room. Please smash the like button. Subscribe if you are new. Another interesting thing today was actually post-OTA. We're going to get everything. Guys, I've clipped up. We got over 3 minutes of OTA footage for you. Now, I know OTA session was an hour, but I still got 3 minutes of clips for you guys. You know what your boy does, how he does it every time. I go on and find as many clips as I can, put them into a video for all of you guys. So, hey, at least you can see some of what happened today. Now, there was a few little videos that just came up from Daniel Oifusi that the way he posted them, I wasn't able to grab them all, but go check those out on his Twitter. Go follow him if you haven't already, because he'll be on the show. Either way, we'll be recording tomorrow, whether it's be live or whether it's going to be dropping Thursday. That's all up to the Miami Heat tonight. Go Heat. Let's bring out the brooms tonight, right? And, one thing I got to say, too, I'm sitting back and I'm watching this, Hey, I see people. I don't want to talk about Devon Achane. I don't want to. Listen, we're going to talk about this kid today. Devon Achane, the man that has been talked about on this channel for over 9 months. The man that's been talked about on Fin Too Deep by myself, my podcast with Neil Driscoll, for like 15 months, according to Neil, when he was recollecting. Devon Achane looked like the most explosive player. These guys, people were saying he was the most explosive player they had seen at that position since Reggie Bush was wearing a Dolphin uniform today. Can you believe this? I'm sitting back here. Oh, brother. Come on. I need that Vapor jersey. Come on. Listen. You guys got to figure out if Trill's working out or not. Because if he ain't working out, we got to put the 6 on that kid so I can get my jersey. All right? I'm waiting till the end of training camp. I got to see what happens with Trill. You also got to see what happens with Noah, because Cam Smith could very well come in and snatch Noah's number too, because that's his number. So I'm waiting. I think Trill's going to make it, though. I like that kid's upside, but it all depends on the injury, right, and where he's at from that injury. But Devon Achane, the rave reviews are out, and I see some of the haters out here don't want to, oh, well, do you remember how the running room was last year? Bro, this is a different year. This is a different running back. Just because you ain't watched the kid, just because you ain't watched the film, just because you ain't up to speed on this kid, we got something here. Listen, this is why I've said we can go get Dalvin Cook. I'm down with throwing everything in the kitchen sink at winning this year. I've said it before. I'm on record as saying it again. They may prove me wrong, but I don't think they will. I don't know if we are going to have this collection of talent amassed the way we do in this year over the next 2 to 3 years. Yes, the teams will be very talented. Yes, the teams it'll still be in that Super Bowl window. But when you talk about the collection of talent we have right now, we are going to lose guys after this year. That's just a fact, okay? Whether it doesn't work out with X, whether Ogba has to, whatever the case may be, Jerome Baker, we're going to lose guys here. So since we have such an amassed collection of talent, get as much as you can this year. Throw it all at the... But listen, I'm going to say this. If you do not get Dalvin Cook, you will not see a single solitary tear shed from these Ducks, okay? You know why? Because that's more snaps for my boy, and Devon Achane is going to take that running back room by the freaking shorts and curls. If Dalvin Cook is the only guy that can show up. Well, I mean, Derrick Henry could, but I think Dalvin Cook's the target. But Dalvin Cook is the only guy that can show up right now that seems feasible. He's the only guy that can show up that I think could displace Devon Achane from gaining running back 1 status by the end of the year. Dalvin or an injury. If Dalvin Cook does not walk through those doors, Devon Achane will be running back 1 by sometime during this year. I'm telling you. Mark my words. Mark my words. All right? This guy's more explosive than a song off the Chronic 2001. That's how good this guy is. If any of y'all know that song reference, salute. But I'm telling you right now, man, how are you not fired up? Because a good running back can make your line look better than they really are. A good running back can improve that offensive line in front of them, right? And when you got a guy like this who's quick to hit the holes, quick to the edges, you know what? You already know what I call him. What do I call Devon Achane? A blink of an eye runner. You blink, he's gone. And he's a pinball. He's a human. Oh, man, what a home run pick. What a home run pick. And I'm going to tell you this. I cannot wait to see him in action at training camp this year. I can't wait. Just color me excited, man. And I hear the battle was already getting intense today. You can already see the defense looks a little ahead of the offense, but you can already see it starting up. Shout out to Josh Williams. He just joined the all-pro level. Appreciate that. Shout out to 1017 Man, member for 5 months, and he says 2's out here throwing dots. 2 is back to throwing dimes, baby. And we're going to talk a lot about that today because today started off, OTAs started off with a really interesting note, and that'll actually be the first thing we cover. But there's over 320 of you in the chat right now. Please smash that like button. Help me out with my friend Al. My friend Al, everybody's pal. All right? Little Alchemist sample for you. Okay, help me out with my friend Al. Algorithm. Smash that like button, all right? Smash it, smash it, smash it. Over 300 of you in the room right now. There should not be less than 200 likes. Let's get to 200. Let's rock it. Smash that like button. Do it. And hey, Z's out here saying, did anyone peep Jalen Waddle's earring? Man, how could you miss it, huh? How could you miss the penguin earring? Absolutely love it, man. And I don't know if did anyone notice Waddle, how bricked up the man is? Waddle talked about how he needs to be better at getting off the line of scrimmage and fighting through press. And you see it. Now he's talking about, Jalen Waddle today talked about running over defensive backs. Jalen Waddle literally said today, you're going to see me out here running over people. You got Austin Jackson. This guy looks like he's bricked up, and we're going to get into him heavily because he actually had reconstructive surgery on his ankle. All right, so we're going to talk about Austin Jackson a little bit here. And then look at Tua. Tua rocking the new helmet. And actually the helmet that he's rocking is, from what I understand, that's the safest helmet on the market he's wearing right now. You got Tua with the new helmet on too, right? Just living life. Buddy, it's beautiful stuff going on right now, huh? You know, the intro says it, and I'm going to repeat it. It's a beautiful day to be a Dolphin fan right now. It really is, right? Look at Tua's new helmet. Here's Tua's new helmet, if you guys haven't had a chance to see. Tua rocking the new lid. He's got the safest helmet, and it's, you know, he's got that extra cushioning, according to Rhino. You know, the tears of the haters and the clowns giving a little extra cushioning in there, right in between the padding. But there is QB1. That's his new helmet. That's his new limit. That's his new lid, sorry. And let's go. Tua out here. Tua out here, baby. Let's get it. Man, you see Jackson's bricked up. You see Tanner Connor's bricked up, taking the second year seriously. You know, I'm liking what I'm seeing already from players themselves heading into year 2, and we haven't even got to camp yet. You know, Erik Ezukanma's out there today, apparently putting on a show, and what I've been telling all y'all, that look out for AZE. He putting in the work with the boys to perform. Don't sleep on this, man. And Easy today out there was apparently looking like a legitimate NFL starter. People were crying, wondering why he's not out there. You know, I was walking Neil Driscoll off a ledge. I was walking other people in this community off a ledge saying, trust Welker. He went to Texas Tech. He knows what this kid needs in terms of route tree expansion. And as a route runner, trust Welker. He will get him ready. And it looks like Welker doing his damn job, and I love it. Here for every minute of it. Let's get into this, man. I'm hyped. If you can't tell, I am hyped right now. So let's start it off like we did yesterday. Let's get into the, you know what? Let's start off with the news before OTAs, and then we'll get into the OTA stuff. Right? So, just a quick little update. Robbie Chosen is the Dolphins player. He's the number 3 receiver on the depth chart. So, let's see. And also, you know, is Robbie Chosen? Well, what this is saying right here is that he's number 3 and he can wear Chosen on his jersey. He actually went with Robbie Chosen. That's what it's telling you here. But what I'm twisting this into right now is you see what he's doing in practice. You hear everything. Is Robbie Chosen wide receiver 3 right now? I think that's a legitimate question to have. But there you go. It's not Chosen Anderson. It's Robbie Chosen. All right? So we clear that up. But is he the number 3 receiver right now? Because these guys keep making a connection. So let's get into the highlights from today. Let's start off. Let's get into OTA news. Now that we've cleared up, it's Robbie Chosen, not Chosen Anderson. That's how he can have Chosen on the back of his jersey. Here are about 3 minutes of highlights from today's OTAs, guys. Who's rocking that orange jersey today? That boy Duke. Duke. Yeah, Dion, I think Ezukanma, Barrios, and Chosen. That's a good battle to watch for the 3, 4, 5 spots. And notice how I'm not even mentioning Cedric. It's going to be a very good camp battle, man. You see the boys out there with the rain. They're doing the slide, a little sliding. See the orange jersey? Get after that fumble, baby. Get after it. All right, Justin Bethel here. Back pedal, opening the hips, coming back to it. Love it. Love it. Love it. Okay. Little Jaelan Ramsey for you. Little Jaelan in the 5. There's more Jaelan from another angle coming back for you. Love it. Still can't believe Jaelan Ramsey's a Dolphin. All right. Linebackers putting in work. If you'll notice, Andrew Van Ginkel putting in work with the interior guys. Van Ginkel working with the interiors. Love it. Love it. Love it. Look at it. 52. Come on, Aubrey. Hit those pads, baby. But if you notice, Andy Van Ginkel is working with the interior guys. All right. Let's get it. Look at Miller. Here we go. Woo! Drive that, baby. Let's go. Van Ginkel with the interiors, baby. Let's go. Putting that work in. Tua, you already know what time it is. Hit that waddle. All day. Come on, son. All day. All day. Barrios, all day. You already know what time it is. All day. Nice quarterback work here. Skylar putting in the work. Love it. Love it. We'll get to your donation in a minute here tonight. 414 of you. Woo-wee! Drop it in there, baby. Just drop it in there. Right into the bucket. Huh? Let's go. Come on, man. You know I'm cheering for Braxton. I love it. Look at Elijah Higgins and Braxton putting in the footwork. Love to see it. Let's go. There you see Chosen up there. Let's do this. Receiver work, putting in that work. Love it. Man. Is that David Davis there too? Look at Ahmed with the nice hands. Woo-wee. Let's go. Ho-ho. Waddle, baby. You already know what time it is. The Penguin, baby. The Penguin. So, hey, a lot going on today at OTAs, and we're going to dive into it. We're going to get into what everyone said who was there. You already know what it is. We're going to get into all of that. All of it. Before we do, shout out to Knight. $5 donation. He said it when he signed Robbie. The best QB he ever had was Teddy before Tua. Robbie's about to be our number 3. Or I'm telling you, listen, can you go in? I'm sorry, man. From 1 to 5? How deep? If Ezukanma hits the way I think he's going to hit this year, if Braxton hits the way I think he's going to hit this year, if Chosen hits the way we think he's going to hit this year, from 1 to 5, how deep is this receiver room, man? Cedric Wilson, wide receiver 6? Man, if that don't excite you, oh, man, the explosiveness out of this team right now is next level. Holy, have we had a receiver? We went from 2 years ago where we had to rely on guys like Gesicki who offered nothing after the catch and couldn't run a route if his life depended on it. You know, we went from depending on, Lynn Bowden Jr., who can't even make a 53 right now. We were depending on guys like that. And Tua was making it work. And now you look at what we have. My God, I count my blessings when I look at that wide receiver corpse after what we have dealt with during that Flores era. Damn right I count my blessings every day. Even when Jaelan was there in 2021, it was Jaelan and then everyone else. We couldn't get Jaelan into open space for the life of us because we had 2 idiots running our offense, right? We didn't know how to properly use them. They didn't figure out how to kind of use them until like week 11. It was awful. And now you look at we got geniuses on the personnel, on the staff personnel. We got these great players surrounding them. Man, I appreciate it. Thank you very much after what we went through. All right. So let's get into the recap from today. All right. You know what we'll do? We'll start off on Twitter, and we'll start off. You know what? Actually, we'll start off as we always do. Miami Herald. We're going to Miami Herald. We're going to go to SI. We're going to go to Travis. And we are going to go to the Sun Sentinel. And we're going to get Marcel Louis Jacques' thoughts. We're going to get all these people's thoughts on this, okay? We are going to go everywhere here. So let's start off with the Miami Herald. What Fangio told Van Ginkel, who begins a new role in Dolphins practice news notes. Dolphins linebacker Randy Van Ginkel's departure seemed likely this offseason after the team traded for Bradley Chubb and cut Van Ginkel's snaps on defense from 801 in 2021 to about 334 last year. But then new coordinator Vic Fangio started studying tape of Dolphins personnel. And he immediately took a liking to Van Ginkel, convinced him to return this season, and is now working to expand his role. During ongoing offseason practices, Fangio has Van Ginkel taking snaps at inside linebacker, a position he hasn't played since his freshman season at Wisconsin. He's also continuing to work at outside linebacker, which is his natural position. Van Ginkel could be a fit at inside linebacker and nickel packages. Van Ginkel said he's excited about learning a new position. I'm embracing the role and trying to learn different positions to give myself an opportunity to be on the field and be productive, he said Tuesday. It's a different game inside. I'm learning the role and what it takes. It's a process, not something that's going to happen overnight. Playing inside linebacker has always kind of been an option, he said. Teams have always looked at me and asked, can he play inside or outside? I want to be able to learn both. It gives me an opportunity to play. He has been studying tape of inside linebackers who played in Fangio's system in Denver and San Francisco. What's clear is that Fangio likes likes Van Ginkel's ability, and he's looking for ways to use him in the defense that is expected to start Chubb and Jaelan Phillips at outside linebacker and Jerome Baker and David Long on the inside for the Miami Dolphins. According to Van Ginkel, Fangio told him that I fit well in his defense, and he's got a good defense, and everything he does has a purpose to it, and he can use me schematically, and he's going to use me to my advantage and put me in a position to make plays. Van Ginkel has been productive when he plays. He has 11 sacks, 4 forced fumbles, a fumble recovery for a touchdown, 23 tackles for a loss, and an interception in 4 seasons. Van Ginkel, who visited New England and Las Vegas in free agency, signed a 1-year deal with $1.5 million base salary and a $750,000 bonus, plus up to $400,000 in additional bonus money per over the cap. I'm just happy to be back. This has been the home for me the last 4 years. I'm appreciative that they appreciate me and wanted me back. Coach Fangio is putting me in the position to make plays if he thinks I can do that inside or outside. Like, this is exactly what I said, right? You know, he's going to be used as another chess piece. We know Fangio loves disguising what he wants to do. If he could not show you what he's going to do up until the very last second, Fangio will do that. And by making him versatile inside to out, it's allowing him to use Van Ginkel as a chess piece in another way. So it's very smart, you know. Not only will Van Ginkel reap the benefits from it, but so will our defense and so will Fangio. Practice notes. Rookie running back Devon Achane and receivers Braxton Berrios and Cedric Wilson were among the standouts. So there you go. Cedric Wilson was apparently a standout today. Wilson made 3 catches, including an impressive one on a throw from Tua Tagovailoa. Achane showed his speed and burst on a couple of runs and also displayed his good hands with at least 2 receptions. One was a deeper one, like 25, 30 yards from Tua. Berrios had 2 receptions for sizable gains, both on well-thrown passes from Skylar Thompson. Receiver Erik Ezukanma caught a 22-yard sideline pattern from Tagovailoa. Javon Holland picked off a poorly thrown pass from new backup quarterback Mike White. That's not good. The pads aren't even on, and Mike White's out here getting picked. Bryce Thompson was nearly intercepted a poorly thrown Skylar Thompson pass intended for Cedric Wilson Jr. Again, that's not good. And Skylar Thompson badly overthrew Robbie Chosen on a play which Chosen was wide open. So, not great stuff we're seeing from the backups here. Jalen Waddle and Alec Ingold dropped passes from Tagovailoa. Kader Kohut had a nice pass breakup on a Tagovailoa throw to Wilson. And Campbell, rookie tight end Julian Hall had at least one reception from Thompson. Raekwon Davis, Phillips, Mitchell Agudier, Aubrey Miller, and Cameron Good were among those with would-be sacks. So there you go. There you go. Raekwon Davis showing a little something in a year where he needs to. The UDFA showing up. Mitchell Agudier, Aubrey Miller, love it. And Cameron Good from last year continuing his development, love it. Cam Smith had one good play, but also allowed a 20-yard reception by Freddie Swain, who jumped to come down with it. Center Condon Williams and defensive lineman Zach Seiler, who are entering the final seasons of their contracts and are believed to be interested in extensions, weren't at the voluntary practice. No definitive clarity was offered on whether the two issues were related, but I would keep an eye on this. And what did I tell you? If you are a Patreon or you a channel member, I've been told, hey, it might have changed since I updated, but my update last week, I told all of you, from what I understand, there are no contract discussions between Connor Williams and the Dolphins. But that may have changed since I did that update. I don't know. But as of last week, there was no contract discussions. Christian Wilkins, whose camp is negotiating an extension with the Dolphins, participated and spoke to reporters afterward, but declined to comment on extension talks, saying he's leaving that to his agent. Beyond Williams and Seiler, others not spotted Tuesday. Tyreek Hill, he was doing weight training, I think. Taron Armstead, Trill Williams, who's coming off a knee injury. Brandon Jones, who had the torn ACL in Week 6 last year. And Nick Needham, who had a ruptured Achilles in Week 7, were on the field but not yet able to participate in practice. While linebacker Duke Riley wore the orange jersey that's given out to the standout performer from the previous day's practice. Now, for all of you wondering, I believe they're back at it on May 25th. So on Thursday, they will be back at it for all of y'all, okay? Which is probably going to push me to we'll do the Daniel Oifusi. I'm thinking we're going to go live tomorrow, and we'll see. We'll see how it all works out. But and then me and Neil could probably go a little bit earlier than normal and cover everything to get out ahead of the Heat game if they play. So we'll see how it works out. But listen, if Barry Jackson is telling you to keep an eye on Seiler and Williams' situations right now, keep an eye on their situations right now. All right? Because Barry Jackson, he doesn't mess around. He's informed. All right? He is informed. So, let's keep it going here. A little interesting tidbit there. So, Cedric Wilson, there you go. We got some Cedric Wilson love coming out there. That's very interesting to keep an eye on, too. All right? So, let's hop over. Let's see what Omar Kelly said. Omar had his 5 observations from Dolphins Week 1 OTAs. He said the Miami Dolphins pulled back the curtains on the team's off-season work, with the media able to watch all of Tuesday's session, and it seemed as if Mike McDaniel's team picked up right where they left off in 2022. That's a good thing, by the way. There was a lot of movement at the line of scrimmage before the snap, a ton of passes thrown, which is to be expected in a non-padded practice, and troublesome quarterback protection from an offensive line that continuously been rebuilt for the past decade. Here's a breakdown of 5 observations made during portions of the Dolphins OTA sessions the media was allowed to watch Tuesday. Mike White's arm wasn't impressive. I'm used to seeing floaters thrown from Dolphins quarterbacks. That's been my life story since Chad Pennington was a starter in 2008, with Chad Henne and Ryan Tannehill being the lone exceptions, and proof that accuracy is much more important than arm strength. So when I criticize White's arm strength, don't think I'm being an arm snob, but most of his throws had very little zip on them. Keep in mind, none of the quarterbacks on the Dolphins roster have a cannon. I also knew White's arm wasn't going to blow me away from evaluating him in the draft process years ago, so the bar was low from an expectation standpoint, but what I saw from White during the first in-person session was underwhelming. None of the quarterbacks stood out during Tuesday's session, but White was the worst. Javon Holland made the top play of practice, picking off a duck of a pass from him and running it back from a decent game. Sack fest for the Dolphins defense. It's no secret the Dolphins O-line is a work in process, especially with Taron Armstead sitting out the session. But the struggles led to a good day from the outside linebackers who shined in the first session the media was able to watch. Jaelan Phillips was a force as usual, but Mitchell Agudier, who I noticed more than I should for good things, Cameron Good, Malik Reed, Aubrey Miller all produced would-be sacks. Defensive tackle Raekwon Davis also had a would-be sack on a play that featured a bad exchange. Miami was working without center Connor Williams on the offensive line, But that was really the only bad snap that I noticed. There was one play where former San Diego State center Tagovailoa burrowed open a hole so big the offensive line could be spotted celebrating with Olave while Raheem Mostert was still running downfield. He says inside linebacker still needs addressing. Jackson State standout Aubrey Miller, who Miami signed as an undrafted rookie, supposedly didn't get drafted of his small stature. He's 5'11", 230 pounds. It's a bit surprising to notice that Miller looks bigger than David Long, who is also listed at 5'11", 227. But both Jerome Baker, who is 6'2", 225 pounds, looks big, and we all know that's an exaggeration of the truth. Now that I'm over being a size queen, I'll say Long does trigger fast, and he can seemingly cover with some range, which explains why he replaced Landon Roberts. But that unit has me concerned. I bring up size because small players typically break down faster, especially at contact drive positions like linebacker. Good thing Duke Riley's playing fast and seemingly making plays because this team needs help at linebacker. Check this one out. You guys aren't going to like this. After watching Channing Tindall, he was invisible on Tuesday. It's clear that the Andy Van Ginkel move to inside linebacker was a move made out of necessity. Oh, no. That's not good. That is something we talked about yesterday. Now, again, the pads haven't come on, so we will wait and see. But already, flags are being thrown and alarms are going off in the South Florida media that the Andy Van Ginkel move was clearly made out of necessity. And Tindall, listen, I said on the show yesterday, I don't expect Tindall to make an impact until year 2 in this offense based on the knowledge we have of how he was in year 1 of a pro defense. So we'll see. This is the first red flag. So let's not jump overboard, but this is the first red flag. This kid's got traits for days. Let's just see. Let's see. Don't be surprised if the Dolphins add a veteran inside linebacker or 2 to this group or during camp. Oh, dude. Receiver review looks promising. Not having Tyreek Hill during Tuesday's practice meant a lot of secondary receivers had a chance to have their package work elevated, and Erik Ezukanma was his top standout. So look, there you go. Others made plays, particularly Braxton Berrios. So there you go. Both the Miami Herald and now Omar Kelly are saying Braxton Berrios will stand out, so we can. Let's see if he mentions Cedric Wilson. But he said other made plays, particularly Braxton Berrios, who dropped into zones and was wide open on a number of receptions. But Ezukanma, the Dolphins' 4th round pick in 2022, was moving like an NFL starter. He was fast. His routes were crisp. We saw these types of practices from him last training camp before he pulled the disappearing act during the season. I also witnessed Robbie Anderson get open downfield a couple of times, showcasing the speed to beat defenses deep. For the record, Cedric Wilson Jr. made a couple of solid catches. It was as if he was raising his hand, reminding people he's still around. Let's try not to forget him and his $7 million salary. So there you go. He gave Cedric Wilson his flowers as well. Speedy tailback spawns creativity. Look at the write-up for Devon Achane here. I love it. I'm here for it. Devon Achane has some wheels on him. I knew the Dolphins' 3rd-round pick was 40-time fast, but anytime the ball was in the Texas A&M standout's hands, the tiny tailback was gone, moving faster than his nearest defender, and it seemed effortless. Keep in mind, I've covered fast players before, but the last Dolphins tailback who was this fast was Reggie Bush, who ran a 4.33 40 time in the draft process, and Achane edges him out at a 4.32, and if you watch the tape, Achane can hit up into the 4.2s, okay, if you watch the tape. Tagovailoa connected with Achane on a nice teardrop pass down the left sideline, 25 yards downfield, putting it where only the tailback could get it before toe-tapping inbounds. Seeing that play got my wheels spinning with creative passing plays for tailbacks. However, there are the practice sessions where Salvon Ahmed is usually carving up defenders with receptions and downfield runs. Practices without pads favor the tiny, fast players who get slowed down when pads come on, so let's not go overboard with praising Achane. But what I saw Tuesday was indeed intriguing and makes me wonder what the mad scientist, Mike McDaniel, could create. I'm just saying, because he's right. You know, we're not going to dive overboard because the pads aren't on yet, but we knew the explosiveness was going to pop. We knew it, right? And to see it happening out the gate, it's a beautiful, beautiful thing. Because we got a better runner. He's got better vision. He's more elusive. He's better after contact. And he breaks tackles a lot better than Reggie Bush. Achane does all those things better than Reggie Bush. So, and Reggie Bush was a damn good pass catcher. So, man, let's go, baby. Achane on a wheel route is going for a touchdown this year. Mark my words. Over 510 of you in the room. Smash the like button. Subscribe if you're new. Let's keep it going. Let's look at Travis Wingfield's Twitter notes from today, all right? Here's his takeaways. Impressive start for the defense, particularly in the communication rotation aspect of the coverage. We saw plenty of checkdowns as they were capping, doubling, mixing things up, and ultimately providing excellent coverage. He had Phillips with 2 sacks, Ogba and Raekwon with 1 apiece. Chubb was impactful too. The entire front is present, and they look in midseason form. No Armstead or Connor on the O-line. Phillips picked up where he left off in 22. Unreal first step. Bend, close speed. I mean, we all know. Y'all know I love me some Jaelan Phillips. Y'all know what I think of that guy. I said last year he's going to enter the top 10 pass rushers. And I said this year that we're getting into now, he's going to enter the top 5. I stand by it. Jaelan Phillips will be a top 5 edge rusher by the end of this year. Cam Smith and Devon Achane lost count of Achane's explosiveness. Runs and pass, one off a great Sauber block, another deep ball from Tua. Smith's first rep was a beautiful match and drive back down the stem for the pass breakup. His length pops. He also had a nice press W against Waddle. Cedric Wilson and Erik Ezukanma trading some receptions in the intermediate from Tua. He was throwing with nice timing and touch. Wilson had a nice off-frame snag and easy ease, easy glide. Run after the catch ability is very apparent. He thought Mike White looked comfortable. Watching him into a throw on air in Indies was a clinic on timing and placement. During team, both QBs found small windows from some chunk gains. Holland did pick off White in 7-on-7. Perfect depth, trigger, and step for the interception. So, listen. See, Travis Wingfield kind of made it seem like it wasn't a bad throw here, right? But we've already read what Omar Kelly and Barry Jackson have said, and they both pretty much ripped the Mike White throw. So he's kind of trying to put a positive spin on it when we know from reading a couple other... This is why you got to read everyone. From reading a couple other people that, yeah, come on. You got to be a little bit more honest with it on that. I get your company, man, and you got to paint the picture, but it's okay to say it wasn't a great throw. You know what I mean? So there you go. There's Travis Wingfield. Now, keeping it going because you got to listen to what everyone says here, right? Got to listen to everyone. Here is what Alain Poupart of SI.com, here are his highlights from today. So, the Miami Dolphins conducted their second OTA of the 2023 offseason Tuesday, but it was the first one open to the media. Here are the highlights of the practice at the Baptist Health Training Complex. With the preface that all offseason activities outside of the June minicamp are voluntary, and that injuries possibly were involved, these were the players who were not spotted at practice: Tyreek Hill, Trill Williams, Taron Armstead, Connor Williams, Zach Seiler. Brandon Jones and Nick Needham were in attendance but not practicing as they continued to recover from their injuries last year. Practice featured a good amount of 11-on-11 and 7-on-7 work, and the most active player in terms of getting his hands on the ball was rookie third-round pick Devon Achane, who caught passes from 3 of the 4 Dolphins quarterbacks, all but Mike White. Perhaps his most noteworthy catch was a sideline reception where Tagovailoa dropped the ball over a linebacker. Dropping dimes, baby. Rookie free agent Chris Brooks also had a decent amount of work. That's the first time we're hearing of Chris Brooks at running back and looked good. He also looks bigger than any of the other running backs on the roster. That was probably 2 of his best passes of the day, though he did have a couple of nice completions over the middle, including one to Waddle. 2 also had a nice throw to second-year wide receiver Erik Ezukanma while he was rolling out to his left. Javon Holland had one interception on the day when he stepped in front of an intended receiver, Braylon Sanders, on a deep pass down the middle off White. Second-round pick Cam Smith had a nice play where he came over the top to break up a Mike White pass intended for Ezukanma. The defense had a handful of sacks, plays where the defensive player likely would have tackled the quarterback had he not stopped for obvious reasons. Among those with sacks were Bradley Chubb, Raekwon Davis, Jaelan Phillips, Aubrey Miller, and Mitchell Agudier. So, again, Travis Wingfield didn't give Mitchell Agudier or Aubrey Miller sack credit. Veteran Cedric Wilson Jr., who's trying to secure the third receiver job, had a nice catch over the middle when he reached for a Tua pass. Skylar Thompson's best throw was an outside completion to Braxton Berrios, who also caught a long pass over the middle. NaVarro Bowman, love it, former NFL linebacker who played for the new defensive coordinator Vic Fangio with the 49ers, spent some time chatting with new linebacker David Long. There's an interesting tidbit. Man, him and Patrick Willis, one of my favorite linebacking duos of the last 20 years. That's awesome. XFL quarterback Bryce Thompson made a nice breakup on a pass by Thompson over the middle, but failed to come down with the interception. Robbie Chosen got behind Justin Bethel on a deep play down the left sideline, but Thompson's pass was overthrown. And wide receiver Freddie Swain had the catch of the day when he leaped near the sideline to come down with a pass from Mike White. So there you go, man. See, another tidbit we come away that no one else mentioned. NaVarro Bowman out here sharing the knowledge. I love it, man. Look at that. When you got a great mind out there that Fangio's bringing. Beautiful, beautiful stuff, huh? Huge, huge, huge stuff. So, man, that is good to see 511 of you in the room. Smash that like button. Continuing on, Marcel Louis-Jacques. His highlights, long touchdown for Robbie Chosen. The Holland pickoff Mike White. Devon Achane's speed is real. Couple long catch and runs. Duke Riley got the orange jersey. He didn't see Tyreek Hill, while Brandon Jones and Nick Needham were present during sideline work. Let's head over to the Sun Sentinel because Christian Wilkins remains motivated, and we're going to go over some practice observations from David Furones, friend of the show. So, Miami Dolphins standout defensive tackle Christian Wilkins' contract negotiations have been ongoing throughout the offseason and are yet to be resolved as the team held organized team activities open to the media Tuesday. Mike McDaniel had previously said the two sides have been in constant conversations as they work to lock Wilkins into a long-term extension. He's currently set to play the 2023 season on a $10.75 million figure from the fifth-year option of his rookie deal. I let my agent handle all that. There's a reason he's hired, said Wilkins, who's represented by David Mulligetta. He has a job to do. He's one of the best in the business. I put it in his hands. Control what I can control, coming out here every day and leading and playing ball. Regardless of what develops, Wilkins vows to remain motivated, whether he secures a hefty guarantee before the season or if he ends up playing on the last year of his contract, making the upcoming season vital for the next deal. I'm always motivated, and motivation comes from within, not the dollar amount. But it's just my drive to be the best and be my best. No dollar changes that. Changes my mindset. Whether something gets done or not, my approach is always the same. Recent contract extensions other standard defensive tackles have reached could provide an idea of Wilkins' comparative market. Jeffrey Simmons, 4 years, $94 million with the Titans. Daron Payne, 4 years, $90 million with the Commanders. Javon Hargrave, 4 years, $84 million with the 49ers. And Dexter Lawrence, 4 years, $90 million with the Giants. I was excited about Lawrence, Wilkins said of his former Clemson teammate. That's my fat little brother, so I was excited about him. But it's good to see the growth of the game and clearly how much D-line play, especially interior, means to teams. It's good for the game and great for the guys that come after us. All of those names, however, have produced more sacks than Wilkins, the Dolphins' 2019 first-round pick. But improving his pass rush doesn't necessarily become a focal point of his offseason. Just everything he said of what he's working on. I'm never a finished product. I didn't make every play I was supposed to make last year, regardless of how productive I was. There's so much more out there for me, whether it's getting in shape, developing my pass rush, being strong in the run. Wilkins, 98 tackles in 2022, were the most by any down lineman since at least 1994. He had 3.5 sacks as part of his 11.5 career sacks over his first 4 seasons. And David Furones' his practice observations. The Dolphins had their first session of voluntary OTAs open to the media Tuesday. After beginning Monday, a series of observations and notes from the day's drills, mostly from 11-11 work. Quarterback Tagovailoa, whom McDaniel spoke highly of before Tuesday's session, rolled out left and had a nice connection with second-year receiver Erik Ezukanma, crossing toward the sideline about 20 yards deep. 7-on-7 work, Cedric Wilson Jr. made an impressive grab over the middle on a pass he had to reach back for slightly from Tagovailoa. The left-handed quarterback's off-season strength work was evident as he appeared more muscular. Backup quarterback Mike White had a pass on the money on a deep out to Jaelan Waddle, but Waddle couldn't come up with the ball. Safety Javon Holland intercepted White late in the session as he sat in a deep zone over the middle and jumped a route coming his way. Skylar Thompson found Braxton Berrios open over the middle for a sizable gain. Fellow newly acquired Miami receiver Robbie Chosen was wide open deep down the sideline for Thompson, but the second-year quarterback overthrew him. Among defenders picking up would-be sacks, Phillips, Aubrey Miller, Mitchell Agudier. On Agudier's sack, play was allowed to continue, and Thompson hit second-year receiver Erik Ezukanma for a deep touchdown. So there you go, another thing we hadn't heard yet. Undrafted running back Chris Brooks broke off a big run over the middle against reserve defenders. Fellow rookie tailback Devon Achane was active in the passing game, and his burst was on display. Duke Riley wore the orange jersey Tuesday as previous sessions practice player of the day. An OTA minicamp and training camp motivational tool McDaniel has kept from last offseason. Jalen Waddle started OTAs wearing it as the team's first practice Monday. The player in the orange jersey has his musical choice at practice. Interestingly, the Dolphins started Tuesday's session with Frank Sinatra's New York, New York playing. Is this an indication that the New York is on the Dolphins' mind after the big offseason the Jets had acquiring Packers quarterback Aaron Rodgers? Defensive backs who were working back from season-ending injuries in 2022, Brandon Jones and Nick Needham, were seen jogging around in early portions of the drills. Players not seen participating at Dolphins Tuesday voluntary OTA included Tyreek Hill, Zach Seiler, Tyron Armstead, Connor Williams, and Dan Feeney. There you go, another name we hadn't heard yet. So Dan Feeney obviously wasn't there as well. So more interesting to me, though, we play in New York, New York, eh? These boys want it. They're coming for it. They want the Jets, huh? They want the Jets this year. You got to love it. You got to love it. Yes, Jalen Waddle dropped a few passes today. Yep. And here's what the Palm Beach Post said, and this is where we're going to talk about Austin Jackson. Miami Dolphins Austin Jackson working back from reconstructive ankle surgery. Austin Jackson was able to play only 2 games at right tackle for the Dolphins last season due to ankle injuries. After an organized team activity practice on Tuesday, Jackson shared how he feels about his return to action. It's actually kind of like angry excited, he said. Angry excited, that's how I describe it, angry excited. After missing almost all of last season, Jackson isn't angry that Miami passed his 5th-year option. He understands that. But he's angry and frustrated about how last year played out. Jackson also revealed the right ankle situation required surgery. Reconstruction, Jackson said, adding that he's healthy now. That's not good. Jackson has the size and athleticism to flourish in Miami's own blocking scheme. The Dolphins have made it clear that in an ideal situation, he blossoms in his 4th year after he was the first-round pick out of USC. They'd prefer he locks down the starting job. I get an opportunity to play right tackle this year, he said. Keep myself healthy. As long as I keep myself healthy, God willing, do my job in the field, everything will work out how it's supposed to. Jackson is personable, friendly fella. There's quite a good chance that the first-year offensive line coach, Butch Barry, will approach the Dolphins player with some old-school tough love. Great coach, very detail-oriented, which I appreciate, Jackson said. Like, football is tough, man. Coaches are supposed to push us, and I appreciate that. The Dolphins added veterans Cedric Ogbuehi and Isaiah Wynn, who are each capable of playing right tackle. They're both great players, Jackson said. Guys I watched when I was younger, both great players. I love picking new guys' brains. Everybody's coming from different systems. I'm excited to work with those great players, great people. Jackson said he felt he was able to refocus on routine while sitting out last season and made it clear he is not afraid to take on expectations. Definitely not scared of the challenge. Not afraid of the hard work to do it. I enjoy performing. My plan is to perform better, just coming along. And, love the confidence of them. I'm still the same person, growing as a player and getting better. Jackson's playing that with new coach Barry has been stressing speed and intent. That is that there's a little bit of a concern on my half there. Man, a reconstructed ankle. When you got these big men, and when you start getting lower extremity injuries, let's hope he can stay healthy, because if that ankle starts popping up and starts acting up, this is going to be a serious issue for this guy. And even more of the reason to have a good insurance plan in place if this guy's coming off reconstructive ankle injury. Okay? That bothered him, took him out 2 separate times last year to the point he had to reconstruct it. Yeah, you better have a good insurance policy in place. All right, listen, guys, here's the deal. If the Heat win tonight, well, that means I'll be live tomorrow. I think we're going to do this anyways, okay? We're going to push back. I'm going to figure out the finish line with you guys. All right? And this is what we're going to do. OTAs continue on Thursday, May 25th. So I will be live. If the Heat are playing, we will be live well before the Heat game, and we will recap OTAs Day 2. If the Heat are not playing, then we'll be live at night with me and Neil. And either way, tomorrow, expect me. I will be live with Daniel Oifusi around 5:30, 6 o'clock tomorrow night. We'll just go live with it, all right? We're going to make that decision, all right? Now, it could change. If the Heat win tonight, I don't know. Maybe we'll see. But right now, I'm leaning towards going live. Either way, Daniel Oifusi, I'm either going to be live with him tomorrow, recording, and it's going to come out Thursday, or we'll be live tomorrow night. So be on the lookout for me tomorrow, either way. But I'm leaning towards the Oifusi show no matter what happens, because we got some stuff to dive into here, all right? And we can push the finish line back to next week. So be out on the lookout for me tomorrow either way. Me and Daniel Oifusi will be bringing that heat for y'all tomorrow. Be on the lookout for that. I appreciate all you. Shout out to Aladino in the chat. He just got out of the hospital with his wife. His wife's suffering from pneumonia, so show him some love. Send him some good energy his way. I appreciate you, good sir. We had over 520 of you guys in the chat at one point today. Please smash the like button on the way out. I appreciate all of y'all. Shout out to all of y'all. You already know what time it is. I will see y'all on the next one. Football's back, baby. Kinda. Love all y'all. Fins up. I will see all y'all on the next one. Take it easy, guys. Have a fantastic Tuesday. And go Heat.